Hey team, today I'm going to show you how to season your carbon steel Kamado griddle, but really any carbon steel accessory. This video will be helpful for you, so stick around. We're going to jump right into some helpful tips. From my backyard to yours, less hate, more love. Good barbecue. Well, it's the weekend. I've got my cup of Joe. We're firing up the Joe, and we're totally pumped. Like, it's a good day to be outside. So if you're not outside, you need to get outside, drink that Joe, and get grilling.
That's too many Joe jokes.
Too many Joe jokes. I love it though. All right, let's talk about seasoning your carbon steel griddle, because this step is what takes your cook from good to great. When we talk about seasoning, what's really happening is a process called polymerization. This sounds fancy, but here's what it actually means. When you heat oil past its smoke point, the molecules begin to break down and bond to the surface of the steel. They don't just sit there as oil anymore, they actually transform into a hard plastic-like coating that protects your griddle. See, this layer is your secret weapon. It creates a shield that locks out moisture and oxygen so your griddle won't rust, and that's so important in this process. It also gives you that slick, non-stick surface that only gets better the more you cook on it. You get that amazing flavor. And as a bonus, it adds just a little extra flavor over time, especially when you're cooking burgers, tacos, bacon, really any fat. It's just gonna add flavor over time. It's wonderful. Now, there are a few keys to getting a good seasoning. First, your oil choice really matters. You want an oil with a high smoke point. Think grapeseed, flaxseed oil, even fat is wonderful. Second, thin layers are critical. It's key. If you put on too much oil, it turns sticky or uneven. Today, I'm going to show you one little spot where I had too much, but the majority of it is smooth. So a light coat bonds way better than a thick one. So definitely make sure you take advantage of that. Third, heat cycles build strength. So you don't want to get so you can get a perfect seasoning in one go. You won't get a perfect seasoning in one go. So repeated thin layers with heating and cooling, building up that durable surface. And fourth, even heat matters. So if your griddle heats unevenly, your seasoning will look a little blotchy. So you want to keep that in mind. But here's a fun fact. Carbon steel is similar to cast iron, but it's lighter and it heats up faster. That is a pro tip, and it's smoother. Because of that smooth surfaces, it takes a little bit more work at first to build up that strong seasoning compared to cast iron. So don't worry if it takes a few cooks and it looks a little patchy. That's completely normal, and you're gonna see that today where we're gonna end up doing 3 different layers of cooking to get it seasoned. So every cook adds more layers, especially if you're cooking fatty foods like burgers and bacon, because over time you'll end up with a surface that's better than the day you bought it. And if you're finding value in today's video and you're getting some good educational tips, be sure to like, subscribe today, as it helps our channel. So think of seasoning like painting on a protective shield. The paint is oil and the oven is your heat. So every time you cook, you're strengthening that shield, making your griddle more non-stick, more flavorful, and way more fun to cook on. Now we've got to let it cool down a bit before round 2. This is the part where I usually grab a drink, check my fantasy football lineup, or wonder why my Amazon cart is $600 worth of grill gadgets I don't need. Let's talk about the step-by-step process of actually seasoning your griddle. I want to walk you through stage 1 of actually putting charcoal in your Kamado Joe. So the first step is we use lump charcoal. You can use any lump charcoal you want. And you want, per the instructions of Kamado Joe, you want to set your temperature to 400 degrees. You can go up to, I believe, 475 as well. So if you get a little carried away, it's no big deal. So 400, 475, or it's like if you had an oven that could fit a Big Joe, which most people don't. This is why we're using the Kamado Joe Big Joe. Or if you have a classic version, same principle, you set up your Kamado Joe Classic 400, 475. So I'm using heat deflectors, dump that charcoal in, put the heat deflectors in, and then all you have to do from here, once you reach temperature, and I'll show it on the screen, we've reached temperature 400 degrees. All we got to do now is begin to, well, I want to show you a few things. We're going to season it, but I just want to show you how easy it fits in. So it sits perfectly on your divide and conquer system, and then you're ready to griddle. So if it's already seasoned, that's how quickly it is to install the griddle. So I just wanted to walk you through how I set it up with charcoal. So now let's talk about the seasoning process. So step one is getting that high heat oil, which I mentioned earlier, if it's flaxseed or whatnot. I've been using a product called Crispy Griddle Seasoning. They've got a lot of great products. I'm not sponsored by them, but this has worked out great on small appliances, cast iron or carbon steel as well, and I really love using it. It is made out of beeswax, and then also I believe it is flaxseed oil, and those two things come together. If it's something else and beeswax, I'll put that on the screen, but I think it's flaxseed oil and beeswax together. What it does, it gives you a wonderful thin layer. So sometimes if you put too much oil on when you're seasoning, that's gonna make it really shiny and then also get blotchy. So you want thin layers. Because of this mixture it literally is like almost a paste right there. All you need is a thin layer. You can use, I like to use like a towel. You don't mind getting dirty, so you're not leaving any like a paper towel behind if it gets too, you know, yeah, if you use it too much, it just kind of peels off and sticks to your pan. So this is just a towel that you can get from the store, the auto store, and then you just do a thin layer and you just I do a circular motion on your griddle. But I want to show you, like, I had one spot after three seasonings where you could tell maybe I just got too carried away, or I just didn't notice it, because I started seasoning in daylight and my third coating was at night. And so there's one spot where it's a little shiny, but over time you continue to cook with this, that will not matter. But I want to point out how smooth this is. I mean, literally so like a baby's butt. It is smooth. I have 2 kids, so I know what that's like. So anyways, that didn't need to be in the video. Like, why did I need to give that example? But the whole point is it's smooth. And when you do the process correctly, you use the right type of oil, it's gonna be a beautiful thing when you start cooking. You want that smooth surface where things move around and it's easy to use your spatula and things like that. So that's using the oil, that's what I use. And so I've learned the hard lesson. Over a year ago, I had this exact griddle on the classic version, and I did an awesome Philly cheesesteak video on my channel, which I'll show here, also in the description. And you could tell that I had some slick, blotchy spots, but everybody was new to the accessory. No one really noticed it. But now I'm looking back and I'm going, oh man, I needed to season that 2 more times. And I think I only did 1 time when I first had it. So this is lesson learned. This is what I've learned using it for a year on the classic. And now I've got the Big Joes. I got 2 Big Joes because I cater more. And that's why I've got these 2. So that's just a pro tip, lessons learned from my mistakes that I'm passing on to you. And so the first step is just seasoning the front, the back. You want to make sure you get the back, although most people you don't really need it, but look how after 3 things, it's even. It was like an even heat. And we flipped it. I flipped it halfway at the 30-minute mark 1 time, and then the last 2, I just literally kept it right on. They recommend if you use oil that you want to flip, you want to turn it upside down so you don't get any blotches. But if you use this crispy stuff that's more like a paste, it's not gonna pool, so you don't have to worry about that. You just need to make sure it's a thin layer, like versus that one little spot I had a little extra on there. So it goes seasoning, thin layer, high temp oil, but use the crispy stuff. It's awesome. Put it at 400, 475 for 1 hour, and then take it off, cool it down. This is going to be the critical process. Is you want to cool it down so that you can re-season it and then put it back on. All right, and then you're going to repeat this 2 more times, and I'll have it on the screen where I put the 2 fingers up, 3 fingers up to show you, hey, this is the process of seasoning at this stage of the game. 1 hour, take it off, let it cool down. It took about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to cool down. I had a few errands, so one of those went even longer, but it cooled down pretty quick. Back on the grill, and then do it the 3rd time, and you're good. So season, high heat, cool, season, high heat, cool, season, high heat, and then you're ready to go. Now we got that smooth surface, and that is all there is to it, to seasoning your carbon steel griddle. And now we're ready to cook. So let us know in the comments what you want us to cook. We've done a Philly cheesesteak when we were doing the classic version, but things are limitless. And I've got a fun one that's gonna be coming up after this video. I already got one idea. It's gonna be a cowboy butter shrimp video, so definitely check that out coming up. But let us know in the comment what other things you want us to cook on this, what questions you have, and if you're finding value in today's video, like, subscribe, do all the things that helps us out. From my backyard to yours, less hate, more love, good barbecue. Till next time.